Welcome to the Royal Archetypes astrology, helping you to find life purpose. On this episode, I will speak about Saturn, the planet of restriction, for a good gift. Now, on the last episode, I spoke about Jupiter. And briefly, Jupiter is the principle of expansion and success. All things we think is good, right? Elevate and uplift. Now, here comes a picture of Saturn. It's a principle of limit, structure, and necessity. It governs the material world, time, tradition, and the past, aging, death, and ending of things. Now, when you hear these words, negative connotation lingers compared to the expansiveness and the principles that describe Jupiter. Now, we ought to question, why is there negative connotation to the word such as death and ending? Well, if we think about it from a perspective of neither good or bad, so endings and death are also a good thing. So with this premise, Saturn archetype is associated with the Greek mythic figure of Kronos, the stern father of the gods, the Roman Saturn. In Jungian archetypal astrology, Saturn is also called the Senex. Now, I'm reading and learning from the research Dr. Richard Tarnas has done. He is the author of Cosmos and Psyche and also my professor of astrology. Now, it says here, Saturn can well seem to be one-sidedly negative planet in the astrological pantheon, though in fact the situation is more complicated. Saturn opposes and limits, but in doing so, it strengthens, grounds, forges, gives our soul substance, and gravitas, makes us real. And Saturn is also associated with time, the embodiment of reality, creates through birth a separate embodiment of reality, then sustains and works out through time all the meaning and challenges of the archetypal moment. And also it symbolizes a skeleton, a symbolism of death. Now, what house is your Saturn is important to look at. Also, what house is your Saturn is also important. Now, another word that is associated with Saturn is solitude. Alone separates us from others. Now, also, it carries the memory of quote-unquote past life. So in this case, if you have a pattern that you perceive as limiting, brings out guilt or pessimism, or you feel like something is being deprived of you, this can well be an influence of Saturn. And by looking at where the Saturn sits in your chart in terms of house and the sign, it can give you the flavor and the milieu and the deeper theme about where is this limitation coming from, and how can I utilize the Saturnian energy to transform into a quote-unquote diamond. Right. All good things take time, they say. Right. And Saturn, you can look at it as a mature grandfather, wise grandfather. It's about taking responsibility ourselves and becoming a master. Every setback, every mistake is an opportunity to master our crafts. So think about it in your life. What's really the crux of the challenge, yeah, and then make that a dharma practice to transform into becoming a master at that. It slowly molds and structures, and in the end it ushers us into a new level of existence. Saturn is the guardian of the threshold. Yeah, so keep your head up. Let Saturn help you learn how to master the theme that's playing in your life. Next episode, I'll cover Uranus. Catch you later.